Okay, what we want to do in this video is explain the four quadrants as how it's used on a milling machine with the X and the Y axis. X is a left to right movement. Y is an in and out movement on the machine. On the board it is up and down. When you are up in this quadrant and you're to the right of this line, all your X's are going to be positive. As long as you're above this line, all your Y's are going to be a positive. But should you cross this line, you're going in the negative direction in X, so your X is a minus, but because you're still above this line, your Y is still a positive. When you're above the line, your Y is a positive. When you're to the right of the line, your X is a positive. When you go over the line to the left, your X is a minus. Should you cross over this line and stay to the right of this line, by staying to the right of that line, your X is still a positive, but because you crossed over this line, your Y is a negative. When you cross over both lines, you cross this line in the X-axis, your X becomes a negative, and when you cross over in this direction, your Y becomes a negative. So the way the four quadrants are laid out is this upper right quadrant is your plus plus. X and Y are plus or positive. When you cross over to this quadrant, which is called quadrant number 2, your X becomes a minus because you crossed the line. You're above this line, your Y is a plus. You cross both lines into quadrant 3, X and Y are both negatives. And this is called quadrant 4. You're still to the right of this line in X, so your X is still a positive, but because you crossed this line, your X is now a negative. So that's how the four quadrants are laid out. This is quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. This is very typical on milling machines, and this allows you to lay out your part in reference to this quadrant. Where the two axes cross, you put this symbol in, you cross out two of the quadrants, and that is referred to as your zero reference point. That is absolute zero. That is where the two axes cross. In the next video, we're going to look at how this relates to a part laying on that axis.